When we did create these coordinated systems like the ride sharing, we actually had some unintended consequences there too. And they're minor compared to some of the potential unintended consequences, but we took our transportation network, all the cars and the roads and the behaviors, and we added in this economic element, and people started paying each other to drive them around. It's a little bit more decentralized. But suddenly, people stopped using the public transit as much. And so there were actually some externalities on this that we don't always acknowledge directly, right? I would say maybe it's better, but in the long run, there's extra congestion on the roads because people aren't using the public transit. Maybe we build less public transit because people use less public transit. In the long run, we might actually create a significant amount more pollution because we've sort of created a local optimizer where we've made some improvements that we all really like at the cost of maybe some global improvements, which would be, hey, now we all use public transit. Like, we moved farther away from that. And so you could say that's an unintended consequence. I really doubt that the people who sort of made Uber in the first place stopped and thought, man, if this works, no one's going to use public transit, and we're just going to create more pollution. But when you actually zoom out far enough, you can actually see those unintended consequences. And it sort of undercuts the reason that we have to do this engineering. And then lastly, that that's always going to happen sometimes. So we have to be evolutionary even up a level. Like, we need to be able to evolve the thing that we made, but we aren't necessarily going to evolve it centrally. And I think that's the real challenge that's facing us in the future. And people like to talk about governance. I personally view governance over software as a form of social sensor fusion. I'm doing some research on the subject now. But I think the critical element here is that because there can be unintended consequences, even if we do all of that rigorous engineering work to feel really confident, then maybe we're going to make something that's not destructive, but we still are probably going to have to evolve it to the future context. So we need to make things that they themselves can change, and I think that's sort of where we're really going. One of the most important things that we could be researching right now is understanding how to do that.